I guess the fan's still gonna blow for a second. Oh, there we go.
Literally 1 second.
All right. Yeah, we'll just go until it gets too hot to handle.
I agree. Oh God.
Always with
Great start.
Well, you've done this multiple times when we've gone to rehearse.
I know.
Where you just bash a handful of nuts.
Yep.
And then you're like, all right, I'm going to sing right now. Right after I just have consumed just nut bits.
Yeah. The nut bits get stuck.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah, well, you know,
Yeah.
fuel.
Oof, I feel like the sun be zapping me.
Yeah, you tired?
I am. I mean, for a myriad of reasons, but man, even just that walk back from the garage just now was intense.
I feel fine.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, you're more acclimated. You've been getting a little sun.
I've been trying to.
Yeah.
Well, I managed to not really burn, but significantly darken my neck at a horse show the other day.
Yeah.
I was wearing a t-shirt and it was completely gray and threatening to rain for, I don't know, 2/3 of the day.
Right.
And then the last third that I was there, the sun came out and just came back with a vengeance. And so I had kind of like a neck tan line. So I really needed to
What is,
fix that.
do you know any of the Celsius to Fahrenheit conversions at all?
I've learned them, but couldn't tell you.
I'm trying to
at
remember,
all.
like, because obviously there's a big heat wave
Yeah.
in Europe right now as well.
Which usually it's like in the 30s. When they say it's like in the 30s there. Because I think
32 is like average room temp or something, right?
something like that. But then it's
Right.
not like a normal
Yeah.
1 degree increment.
Right.
Where like that doesn't check out.
Because when it's like 40,
'Cause
they're
zero
like freaking
is-
out. Is freezing, right?
Freezing?
0 for,
I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
I don't know.
This is our ignorance about
Yeah.
Celsius because we're American.
Yeah. But I did. Who was it? I saw a video of somebody who I think he was British, and I think it was that comedian who's here in Columbus.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he was talking about how ridiculous Celsius is. He's like, Fahrenheit actually makes sense. Like, 0 is really fucking cold. 100 is really fucking hot. And
Yeah.
everything in the middle is pretty much where you expect it to be because it's almost just on a scale of 0 to
To
100.
100, yeah.
Now, obviously, 32
It's just
degrees
freezing.
being actual freezing, but 32 degrees doesn't necessarily feel freezing to the body and
Right,
to the
right.
human mind. So I was like, you know what? Actually, when you think about it as the scale of 0 to 100, it kind of checks out.
I wonder how much longer we're going to have separate systems at all.
I don't know. I mean, that's a huge shift for people to. I feel like you'd almost have to. I don't know.
It has to be incremental, but I mean, less and less people will be measuring things. You'll just be like using your phone, like, how long is this?
Maybe you still have to have numeric value to it.
Of course. But what I'm saying is soon it'll just be universal anyway. You know, like
Yeah, but that's
your AI machines will measure everything
Yeah.
in real time. You'll have your wearables on and you'll look at this table and be like, how big is it? And it'll say 5 feet.
Yeah.
Right? And that'll be like the metro or,
Yeah.
whatever system. What is ours? My brain is not working. Metric is foreign. Is it standard? Is it
I think
in-
standard. Yeah.
But, the AI will use a universal language anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Like something brand new.
Correct. It'll relate to us. Like real life, like
Then it would just say feet. It would just say standard measurement.
no longer will you need to translate anything. Everything will be translated instantly, right?
Okay,
You
but
know what
that
I'm
doesn't
saying?
mean that it's going to be the same.
But I'm like, for how long until there's a universal language? A universal.
Well, okay, yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know.
I think it's going to be integrated fast, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I think that soon kids won't even learn measurements really, and it'll just be some sort of like, all right, this is global standard,
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. I think you're absolutely going to have to there's learning measurements and then there's measuring.
Right.
So I think you'll still learn measurements and what a
Right.
measurement is. How do you describe anything? How do you understand distance if you don't learn measurements?
Yeah.
Now, will you be out there with a ruler? No, probably not. Will you? I agree that like if you are wearing some sort of AI glasses, it'll probably measure it for you. So your understanding maybe of like distance and length might be different than how we learned it,
Yeah.
but you'll still understand. Or it'll just be it'll just be different.
Yeah.
It'll be more of a depth perception thing rather. I don't know.
I know,
I
thi-
truly am not really sure what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But
I think that some simple things like that, measuring, will look different when
Yeah.
you don't have to know.
yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to have a relationship with distance because your
Yeah.
machine will, you know.
Yeah. I don't really think. I mean, I feel like understanding measurements and distance. I guess we learn it, and then you operate in life with it, just sort of without even really realizing it or paying attention. So
I mean, it depends on your career, your job, obviously.
yeah,
Some jobs you're measuring constantly,
that's true.
like baking.
Yeah, yeah, very true. Okay, I'm done with this conversation. I don't know what we're talking about.
Sorry, that was my heat brain.
I think it was your heat brain.
I'm overheated.
I was trying so hard. I was just like, okay, I think he's going, but no, it's making my brain hurt to talk about this.
Oh man, I feel like I just haven't been able to talk about AI for a few days. So
Yeah, I can tell.
I just needed somebody to. Well, my client couldn't talk today at all.
Oh yeah. Oh
because I
my
was
God, you were
blasting
tattooing his
his neck.
throat or his
It was
neck.
just the side. It was big on
Okay.
the side. I thought it was going to be metal, but it was on.
But yeah,
the
that's
side.
something where you're like, please don't move
Yeah,
your mouth and your vocal
we just
cords.
we just
and-
locked in.
What was it?
It was a series of like constellations,
Ah,
and we put like a samurai over it, like a face of a samurai.
cool.
It was cool. It turned out pretty cool.
Yeah. How different does the neck feel from another part of the body?
Well,
Or
I
is
don't
it
know
just-
because I haven't had
No,
been able to get anything
Shut the
tattooed on
fuck
my
up.
neck.
I know, because I won't let you. As the tattooer, is it significant? Is it spongier?
It definitely is.
it-
So what I try to do is, you want the client to be stretching for you if possible.
Okay.
Especially in a position like that, like on an arm or a bigger leg area, I can like rest my hands and pull.
Uh-huh.
But on a neck, there's not a lot of excess space
You like
for
put
me.
a pillow underneath
So
that
I do.
It kind of
So
rounds.
that's
yeah.
100%. So I try. They always want to lay their head on their pillow so it crunches their neck, and I'm like, no, and we slide it under, so
need
then
to
their
stretch the
their
neck
head
today,
tilts, away from me, and then I sort of roll them back and forth. It's hard to lay on your side.
Yeah, I
Like
would
perfectly
imagine.
on your side. So
Well, and so often clients actually complain more about
the sitting.
the sitting than they do the actual tattoo.
Now I have a different massage table I've been using, a new one, and I've had more people fall asleep than ever in my entire career,
Wow.
which is interesting.
The more simple the chair,
I know.
the more simple the
I
table.
know.
the
Nowadays,
better.
it's not, unfortunately, like certain positions, you just need to set people up.
So you put them in a chair.
So I just put them, I have vinyl office chairs.
Yeah.
So I'll just grab one of those.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of tattoos are even easier with them laying down.
Yeah.
They stay more still. you
Yeah.
know?
Interesting.
Mhm.
That's very, yeah. Well, I'm glad that all's working out for you.
Well, I mean, it saved us like $1,300.
You'd have not getting a brand new
with
chair.
like crazy chair, yeah.
Yeah. I have booked almost half of the hotel rooms for tour.
That's great.
Also, I think since we last talked, I think in the last episode, one of the bands dropped off of the Philadelphia show.
Well, the Philly show's been a problem
The
child.
Philly show has been a hilarious problem child, but we're good to go. So yeah, the band that dropped off, Microgirl, who I was pretty hyped to play with, like a day later, they messaged. I think I had found 2 other bands, so I was like, okay, cool, we're good to go.
Well, there was the cryptic message I saw come in that was just like, have you seen this?
Yeah, yeah. So at first I was like, why is Microgirl messaging me? And I was like, maybe they're just checking in to make sure we found some bands, because they were super apologetic, really wanted to help if they could. And so I saw that they had messaged, and like I said, I had already found 2 other bands, so we were good to go. Good to go and then some. And so they just sent a link
Right.
to an article.
Which is very cryptic. You're like, what? is
And they
that?
were just like, not sure if you saw this. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And then they responded like, you probably haven't because you're not in the Philadelphia scene, but you might want to be aware.
Mm-hmm.
So I opened up the link, and it had to do with the venue we were planning
Right.
to play.
Which this venue had already been, like other bands were like, I don't know, I don't really like that venue.
Yeah, it was
like-
just like a little. It was
Which
one of
we-
those things
you-
where
we
like
don't know. We
yeah,
don't- we
I
have
don't
no
know.
idea.
And you know what? They were the only ones that fucking answered.
Yes.
Now, granted, I had to like do a lot of like pushing to get the answer, but the whole time I had a little weird gut feeling about it. But I was like, and once they did answer, they were very responsive and it was good. And I had 3 bands that were totally willing to play there. And I was like, okay, well, maybe 2 of the other bands I talked to just had a weird experience.
Right.
I understand having weird experiences at venues and whatever. So this article, it was all about this guy. I know absolutely nothing about this human except for what I read in this article, who apparently was a guitar player, like
a big session
guitar player. So he played with tons of bands, did a ton of studio time, but I think I think he played with like Pearl Jam for a while.
He was kind of a big deal, yeah.
I can't remember his name actually even right now. Some like basic name like Mike or something.
I thought it was like Jake Tyler.
It was
or
something
yeah.
like Mike something. But apparently he was convicted of and served prison time for some sort of child sexual something.
Right.
They didn't even really go into detail. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's awkward. What does this have to do with the
venue?
fire?
So you have a guy who was a session player who was in prison for some sort of like child sexual assault of some sort.
Yes.
And then it has something to do with the venue we're supposed to be playing?
Yeah,
Tell me more.
And I was like, so where does this go? So apparently he got out of prison recently, and he... immediately, they were like, I mean, this article is all about how he spent 0 time getting back to playing guitar, and the venue hosted him, like hosted an open jam session or whatever.
Which also, I know I'm not getting ahead at all. An open jam with other people agreed to play. They had their names on the flyer.
Right. Well, so the whole thing is, because I was still like, okay, well, for all I know, this guy's been in prison for 20 years or 15 years, and I don't know how long this venue's been around. Like,
they
do
might
they
not
even know? Well, you read in the article that they were aware of, his past, but not about some of the other like charges or I don't know. They were basically like, we know who he is, we kind of know what happened, but like we don't know all the details. So I'm still reading it, and I'm like, okay, this is. I mean,
they could feign some ignorance.
Yeah, and I'm like, but this is pretty uncomfortable. And it's like, then they're saying, bands are all up in arms, and people are planning to boycott the venue. And I'm like, oh, whoa, okay. Well, then at the end of the article, they have the flyer for this open jam night. And at the top of the fucking flyer, it's the guy's name, Mike Taylor or something. But at the top of it, before it says his name, Giant, it just says, he's back.
It was so bad.
And I was like, oh my fucking God.
When I saw it, I was like,
absolutely not.
I
was like, no.
I saw the poster and I was like, we can't do this.
We can't, no,
this is
my
so
God.
bad.
So then I immediately send it to the group chat with the other bands. I'm like, hi, do you guys know about this? And like 2 seconds later, another one of the bands was like, this is happening. And I was like, okay, well, we're obviously not playing there.
Yeah.
So then I had to scramble.
What's funny now is multiple venues, though, have now responded to us.
Well,
Philly all of a sudden cares about us. Like,
so I reached out to a couple of the venues that I had reached out to before, having not gotten any response, and just said like, hey, we were scheduled to play this venue. I'm sure you're aware of the situation. Is there any way you have this date available? And like 3 of the venues responded, which is great. I'm like, whatever, pity booking or something.
That's fine. But I think this Lemon into Lemonade, I think the venue we're going to be at, Nikki Lopez.
I'm really excited.
Looks much cooler.
Yeah, and they've been so nice and professional.
It looks like a divey rock club fit, like everything about it just feels like, oh, this feels familiar. This is what I want.
Yeah,
this is going to be good for us.
I think it's going to be good. And like I said, I was having just weird feelings about the first venue, and they've kind of gone away. I'm like, okay, I think Philly's going to be just like a good, happy show. The bands all seem really excited. And then, so Philly's good. I also heard back from Charleston. The guy was just on vacation.
So we had not heard from them for a long time, since like May.
This is May 19th.
July. We're recording this on July 2nd.
It had been like a good 5, almost 6 weeks since I had last communicated with the Charleston venue. So I'm like calling them. I'm messaging them on Instagram.
So in this game of touring, you're dealing with creative people, also people who are not the most responsible. A lot of people agree to things and then totally just forget.
Totally, yeah. Or it's like they answer emails like when they feel like it.
Right.
I'm a person that answers emails all day long. So I'm like, how have you not answered my email yet? Anyway, so Charleston, all those things happened within like 48 hours. And I was like, all right, venues are secured.
Yeah.
I feel really good about this. And then I've started booking some of the hotels, and kind of back to funny gut instincts. This isn't very exciting at all, but it's just kind of funny. So I was booking a bunch of them today, and I'm trying to be somewhat strategic about it. Where are we staying?
En route.
On route. Are we getting points for these hotels? Who has who has free breakfast? Who has this? Who has that? And so I was booking the New York City one, which I knew was going to maybe be a challenge because
Right.
I was like, we're not staying in the city because
Right.
I don't want to deal with the van. So then I'm looking, okay, what's our route between New York City and Philadelphia? And I think I'd rather spend more time in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's head towards Philly at the end of the night, and then let's get to Philly early. I mean, it's going to take an hour and a half to get to Philly.
Right.
Whatever. But so that kind of led me to the Newark area. And so I was looking, I'm specifically typing in, like, I have allegiance with, like, IHG and Marriott. So I was like, okay, I'm going to look at those two. And so I look up IHG, and sure enough, right around Newark Airport, there's a Holiday, like a regular Holiday Inn and a Holiday Inn Express. And oddly enough, the Holiday Inn Express was more expensive, which I've found typically the regular Holidays Inn are more expensive, but this one it was like a $20 difference. And I'm just kind of looking at it, and now Holiday Inn Expresses always have free breakfast.
Oh.
Holiday Inns do not.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they typically have a restaurant associated with it. I
This is
Googled this today.
interesting,
I didn't know.
I don't know.
I didn't know. So actually, I booked us a Holiday Inn in Chicago, and we don't get free breakfast because I didn't know it at the time. But then I looked, and the Holiday Inn Express was more expensive. So whatever, doesn't matter. So anyway, I'm like going back and forth between these two hotels, and I'm really like, doing stupid math. Like, okay, so would we spend $26 on breakfast? Or
I
would we do all this
understand.
stuff?
I understand.
But when I was looking on the map, like something about the Holiday Inn, even though it was cheaper and didn't have breakfast, but was the real Holiday Inn, just felt kind of weird. And I mean, they're both like on either side of the airport. They are 5 minutes away from each
Which
other.
typically an airport hotel's fine.
Totally, exactly. But for whatever reason, like when I would hover over the map on the Holiday Inn Express, it just felt better. And I truly did not know why or what was going on. So, and then I got to the point where I was like, okay, with taxes, what are we looking like? And then I was like, well, I'm just gonna, what's in the area? And this is me basically just, I don't know, doing an analysis on my brain or something.
This. I
was
like this. No, I like this.
It's a $20 difference,
Yeah.
and the regular Holiday Inn was technically closer to the venue. It was the closer one, and then the Holiday Inn Express was like on the other side of the airport.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, well, it's going to be a little further to the Express. Are we going to want to, like I said, 5 or 10 minutes?
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, maybe I'll see like what's around each of them. And the Holiday Inn, which is, like I said, the first one, the cheaper one, just didn't look like there was much around there, and it kind of looked like some railroad tracks, or
I'm
I don't
so
know if
curious
it was
what this catch is about this shit right now.
A subway line or something. But nothing was popping up. It wasn't saying like, industrial park or anything. And I see like some, there's a Starbucks over here and there's all this stuff, but it does seem like there's more stuff by the Holiday Inn Express. So then I'm like, fuck it. So I turn on the satellite view.
Yeah, so you can actually
see the terrain. And the second I turned that on, right next to the Holiday Inn, the one that's been giving me the like, ugh feeling, giant state prison.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say prison. I knew you were going to say
state prison. Which like would not be an issue, but I was
hey
like,
man, prison breaks happen, bro.
Prison breaks, the end of the night, I just don't need to go sleep next to a prison.
Just the vibes will feel weird.
And it was just the fucking vibes. It wasn't coming up at all
I like
on the
it.
map.
Some people can talk to animals or like feel their energy.
Yeah.
Like your friend Lucy's grandmother,
Yeah,
can like feel the horse's energy. Some people, can pick up on the energies and different vibes and different situations. And yours is hotels. Your specialty.
Yeah, well, Yes and no. Yes, actually, maybe it is.
I think because the only times we've stayed in sketchy hotels, you sort of knew.
I sort of knew.
You sort of
I
knew.
like booked it, and I
And
was
you're
like,
like,
that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just follow your gut
So
on all of
following
these.
my gut, and then I almost changed our Chicago one to get the free breakfast, and then it turned out that one was going to be more expensive than what I had paid for the other one, and I was like, fuck it, whatever.
We'll get
We'll be
Starbucks on
fine.
the way
We'll
or
be,
whatever.
I think we
We'll
can
get some
afford a
shit.
Starbucks
It's
morning.
fine.
But
Hey,
no, I'm trying to be strategic.
we'll
and I'm
hustle some
and
merch.
I'm-
We just got some new merch today.
Totally, yeah. And I do want to be smart. I don't want to just like flippantly
Right.
spend money. I'd rather, have a free breakfast on our way to Philadelphia and then go out to lunch in Philly. Because
Exactly.
we'll have so much of that day because
Yeah.
the drive is so short. So I'm like, fuck it. Like, I'd rather spend the money then.
I'm very much looking forward to, a lot of the drives are shorter. And I plan.
Kind of.
Well, I mean, four-ish
Yeah, they're not
hours or
8-hour
five-
drives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, if we are leaving at
8 a.m.
9 a.m.,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, like, we have all day in these places, and there's a
Yeah.
couple of things like, I want to hit House of Guitars in Rochester.
Yeah.
And maybe there is like, maybe we go to the Mooter Museum in
Yeah.
Philly or do something
Totally.
interesting, or, it's America 250. I'm sure they're doing a bunch of like fun
Just to
stuff.
be in
It's
the
Philly,
city. Yeah, exactly.
So the birthplace of the nation. So like do something cool there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as we're like looking ahead, like, oh shit, like, we can't even load in until 6 p.m.
Right. Yeah.
Most of the days. Some of them are late shows. Oh, wow, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I'm very
So,
much looking forward to it.
Yeah, another fun thing was just looking at the routing, and you can choose, like on Google Maps, you can set your departure time. So a lot of them are like, when I'm trying to see how far is the hotel from the venue, okay, set the departure time for midnight or 1 a.m.
Right, it's
And
gonna
then
be
it'll
way
like,
faster.
oh, instead of 49 minutes, it's 22
Right.
because this is New York City
Yep,
and stuff
yep.
like that. So it's kind of, because some of them I would look it up and it'd be like an hour and a half. I was like, hour and a half? I'm like, oh, well, that's major city traffic on a, Thursday
So,
afternoon.
Another thing I'm looking forward to is like a friend of ours was on tour last year or maybe 2 years ago, and she had gone to the same venue in Raleigh that we
Oh,
had
that's
been
right,
to.
yeah.
And so she mentioned, she's like, there's the oldest sound guy,
Oh, nice.
and he will talk your ear off.
Oh, great.
And I'm very familiar with that vibe, and I'm like, I'm ready for it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
One of my favorite things is
this tour, we're down to experience all the tour things. It's once you start doing it over and over again, and it becomes like, oh,
exhausting.
God,
I know,
again.
but I'll be in the mood, to get to Raleigh and be like, all right, old timer, tell me your bullshit stories, man.
I think Raleigh is the only city we're playing that. Or no, I've never been to Rochester either. I've never been to Rochester or Raleigh.
I think at some point
everywhere else I've been.
At some point, I'm confident I did Raleigh. I can't remember, but I bet if
I've never been to the Rah-Rahs.
Rochester and Raleigh,
Yeah.
the Rah-Rahs. I'm sure if I were to look at some point, we had to have done Raleigh, but
Yeah.
that one I don't remember though. Every other town we're going to, I for sure have done,
Nice.
but I've never played these particular venues.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good. We're doing a little promotion, which will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like our content.
Me too.
I hate that you just have to pay to play. So
No, remember? Advertising.
it's advertising. And really, that's how I need to frame it. So I've been meeting with all of the artists and checking in
Yeah.
with
which has
our
been really
our
nice.
artists.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing that it is so fascinating because we have tattooers who have been tattooing for 20 years. We have tattooers who have been tattooing for 2 years.
Right.
They all comment on social media
yeah.
and the importance of it in the industry, which is funny to me because I don't believe that it's relevant at all for your business.
Right.
I do understand as a portfolio,
Mm-hmm.
as a vehicle for people to see your work, but they're like, well, it's the only way you can get clients
Oh, I see.
is
okay.
via social media.
Yeah.
And I'm still convinced that word of mouth is a stronger way to do it.
But you're a social person. And I'm not saying
Right.
that, like, I would probably argue that you built your clientele based off of the large amount of socializing mainly through playing music.
For sure, that's how it
As-
started, 100%.
And then yes, it's so much easier to build word of mouth from client to new client
Right.
to new client. If you're just starting out and you don't already have a big network of people, don't have, just friends who want to keep sharing. Because the other thing too is like, you might have friends who want to get tattooed. You've 6, say, and you're a
Right.
new artist. And then, they get a couple tattoos from you, but they themselves don't have a big network of people or a lot of
Right.
people to share it with, or anyone else in their world that wants a tattoo. Well, it stops right there.
You're right, and that's why I always tell young tattooers that while they're starting out, they need to be working a service industry job.
Go out, yes,
Like,
work a service
because you
job.
basically need supplemental income.
Right.
You know,
But do something where you meet people
100%.
all the time.
Whatever your other gig is, your part-time gig, it needs to be bartending, working at Starbucks,
Interacting with the community.
something. There's infinite things you could be doing, even volunteering. Really,
Yeah.
you don't even need to fucking work. You could but where you're meeting other people, interacting with other people in some context, people immediately get hyped if you're like, yeah, I just started tattooing. Everybody's like, oh, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Tell me more. You
Yeah.
know? So there's infinite opportunity. I'm just not, and this is totally anecdotal on my end, because what has worked for me?
Right.
Social media has never worked for me,
Yeah.
but yet I am working.
Right.
So for me, it's like, well, I understand the value, but I don't think it's the only value.
Yeah, it's definitely not the only, but I can see how a lot of people think it is.
It has been
because-
every single person I've talked to
Yeah.
has brought that up. And I'm sort of like harping on it. You're about to start reading Good to Great.
I'm excited.
And so I'm rereading it for the 5th time or something. And there's just basically Good to Great is a book that outlines these businesses that went from good businesses to great businesses.
Yeah.
What actually made them function, what made them work, what made them become great businesses, sustained greatness for 15 years or more.
Okay. That's the threshold.
That was sort of the measurement. There's a ton of metrics that they use in
Yeah.
it, but what made them successful? And one thing in it is a lot of these companies, it's sort of the 1990s. This book was written in like 99, 2000, so you have the internet and the dot-com bubble, and there's a lot of these hugely successful companies, and they were featured in Time or Wired magazine or Newsweek as being some of the most technologically advanced and using and utilizing technology as an advantage. But
Okay.
when you interviewed the CEOs, when you interviewed the people who were important in the change in those businesses, they never mentioned technology because it really didn't matter.
Yeah.
What mattered was the culture. What
Yeah.
mattered was the product. What mattered was them working on their thing.
What ultimately
And they used technology,
becomes or was the foundation of the business.
but the technology, the technological advancement was never the thing that actually they thought made them successful.
Yeah.
It was almost didn't even matter to them. And then it's like, I think a lot of people are harping on AI. A lot of people are harping on social media, but it's also like everybody thought that steam engines would end
Oh, yeah.
business. Everyone thought electricity would be the end. Everyone thought the telephone would be the end. Everyone thought the fucking wheel. It did, over and over again. People are like, if you're not using the technology, then you're going to be left behind.
Right.
And that's never.
No.
There's not one time when that was the case.
No. No. All of these things should be thought of as tools to help with
Of course.
the greater project.
And if there's a way that it makes sense for your business,
Yeah.
then yeah, but you shouldn't just use it because everyone else is.
right.
You shouldn't just do it because you're trying to force a, square peg in a circle hole. Oh, well, this is working for everybody else, so I need to change my business.
Right.
I need to change my whole aesthetic. It's like, this is shit. I'm working this out live right now.
Yeah.
But what I need to tell the American traditional artist is well, does it make sense for your brand?
Right.
Or should you be doing dumb TikTok dances and things that make you look uncool? No. Your
Right.
brand is not that.
Right.
What you should be doing is more of your brand.
Yeah.
And if 20 years ago you had success because you put up posters on signs and you hid flyers in beer cases and you put things on windshields, that worked 20 years ago, maybe you should do that again. Maybe you should do the fucking guerrilla marketing lowbrow shit that worked the first time instead of trying something new.
Yeah. Well,
Sort of revisit,
I feel like social media has now for the longest time, people would have considered it kind of the Wild West. Like, what are we doing with it? What's
Yeah.
it doing? And now it's almost gone to the complete opposite end of the spectrum where it's like so predictable. It's all the same shit.
Oh, it's terrible, yeah.
It's completely, money focused. It's a business now.
Yeah.
It just is this industry. And so there's hardly anything creative in it anymore.
Well,
I
pay
look
to
at
play.
the same fucking shit every single
Well,
day.
now because we're doing this tour and we're looking at more band stuff, I've been analyzing all I get is promoted ads for bands.
Right.
Like-
oh my God. I had no idea bands were doing that.
I did not
I had
either.
no idea.
Now I know every
Even-
single fucking band
Even
is.
when we decided to do it, I was like, well, you have to put a little money behind it just to get it out there. So I was like,
Yeah.
I guess we'll try it. Not knowing that that's what every single band
Yeah.
is doing. And then once we did that, then I'm now getting promoted ads. Like,
Did you start another one today?
yes, Chicago
Good.
today.
And how do you set the radius?
So when you go to Instagram and you boost a post, whether it's a post or a reel or whatever, there's just like a couple of parameters that they prompt you. And so it's like, what are the ages? And so I just do, 18 to, I think you can really only go up to like 65 or
Right.
something. So I do 18 to 65, male, female, both. And then your location. So I choose region, and then I type in like the main city we're going to, and then sort of like the surrounding cities. So I think for Chicago, I did like Chicago, Gary. I think I did like Naperville, 'cause it's such a huge suburb, and then like Rockford. So
Yeah.
you really kind of hit all of those. And then you can type in, and I think a lot of this is optional. I don't know if you actually have to do any of these things, but they're like, you should.
Suggested, yeah.
And then you can type in interests. So I typically start with, music, rock, live music, performance, night out, anything that like would trigger somebody who likes to look at those things. And I'm pretty sure, and then as you type in things, it'll tell you what
Suggest.
it'll tell you what your, what they think your reach will be per day or something. And then you can choose how much money you want to spend a day. And that's where they really get you, because you're
Right.
like, I'm spending $6 a day.
Right.
For like single shows, we've done more like $15
Yeah.
a day for a week. I like to do it a week out to the day that we're playing the show. But since we're doing so many shows, I was like, $6 a day. I think
Yeah.
it's completely fine. And of course, it's like, well, for businesses like yours, we really recommend $15 a day. I'm like,
Not
it's
at all.
okay. And with that, it claims that your viewership will be anywhere from like 4,000 to 6,000 people a day will get it across their
Right.
Instagram. I mean, I'm seeing, it's amazing to me because we do get followers
I know.
from this. And like I said, we see this shit all the time, and I'm never inclined to follow anybody. But
I do click on stuff.
But,
If something
yeah.
looks appealing, just because I'm a fan of music, and obviously right now we're in a phase where like, okay, well we're sort of like kickstarting the band again. So
is this a band we want to play with?
It's just a band,
where are
100%.
they? Yeah, where
So
are
I'm
they
like,
based out of?
there's been maybe, I would say, if I've seen, 500 bands, there's probably been 2
Yeah.
that I followed or something where I was
Yeah.
like, that's
Kind of
that's
interesting.
interesting enough.
Yeah.
But I have found promoted ads for bands in the city I live in, that I've lived in since 2009.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I had no idea you existed here.
Yeah.
So anybody who's local, I do tend to follow as well.
Yeah.
So even seeing just stuff in my own town, which is crazy to me, I'm like, what? How did I?
I saw a follower today. I just happened to click on, because sometimes I'm like, is this, where are these people? Are they
Right.
are they in Indianapolis? We have an ad being promoted
Yeah.
there. And this woman's Instagram is just, her bio is just music lover. And I
Oh,
was like,
great.
I love that.
That's great.
Welcome.
We should we should take a moment and like, obviously if you see a follower and they're in a city we're going to,
Yeah,
you
reach
just
out.
fucking message. Be
Yeah.
like, hey, hope to see you at blank,
Yeah.
or something, because it does feed the algorithm. I'm trying really, really hard. My last post, I had like 27 comments or something.
Oh, yeah.
So every comment, not only do I like it, but I comment. And
Yeah.
then that increases the amount that they're showing it to people,
Yeah.
because the evil algorithm likes that there's
The engagement,
the
yeah.
engagement.
Yeah, that's very true. I can see, I used to kind of scoff at the idea of like a social media person,
Yeah.
or having that as your job, as your career. My God, it is time consuming.
Yeah.
I mean, I can spend if I really wanted to do everything perfectly for all of the different accounts that I have to do things for, personal, band, bakeries, The New Black, a good 2 hours.
Well, you're
trying to
also
get all that done.
what you're doing though is you're trying to make very professional, high quality content.
Yeah.
So I met with an artist last night who has gone from less than 2,000 followers to over 20,000 followers, and she has done it in less than 6 months.
Yeah.
So how have you had this explosive growth?
Right.
And sort of we were riffing about her technique. It takes her less than an hour a day
Yeah.
to make 3 videos,
Okay.
and the quality is terrible,
Yeah.
absolutely terrible. But
Yeah.
that's not the point. So like, it's like,
Yeah. Well, and here's the annoying thing. There's the quality versus quantity
Right.
aspect to all of it. But, and I would say I would typically argue quality over quantity. But in industries like music or even like Jerry at the bakery is trying to talk with some publishers.
Yeah.
She has ideas for cookbooks and things. They won't even talk to you until you have a certain number of fucking followers.
Yeah.
And they don't care who those followers are. As long as your page says 25,000 followers, you're good to go.
right.
If it's under that, it's not even
Yeah.
worth their time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. So it's like, I see both sides.
So I think, like the thing you sort of have to do, well, you listen to the Disney Acquired, right?
I haven't finished it yet.
So a huge thing that Disney, and I would say they've done it less now, and sort of with like Marvel and Star Wars, is you don't dilute the main product. Whatever the main product is has to be perfect.
Yeah.
So in Disney's case, it would be the animated films, right?
Yeah.
So Snow White, Bambi, The Little Mermaid, Fantasia, they take 2 to 3 years. They were
Yeah.
hand drawn. They're perfect. But the merchandise, the Sunday morning cartoons in
Yeah,
the paper,
yeah.
the Mickey Mouse Club, that can be shit.
Fast.
It can be fast and out there
Yeah.
and shit. So as long as your main
Yeah.
product is great, which
All the kind of-
imagine I'm riffing again. I'm like,
Yeah.
imagine our band. So like a real music video and our actual recordings in our live
Live
show
show.
are great. But then we should have an insane amount of other side stuff we're just putting out all the time.
That's
And
interesting.
it doesn't dilute your main brand. It actually helps people. People
Yeah.
want that. They're hungry for that. So like you should feel super comfortable almost diluting.
I mean, I diluted the fuck out of a post the other
And
day.
it was one of my favorite things I've ever seen. It was so funny and so awkward. We should Tim and Eric it.
I took screenshots
They were so
of
bad.
boomerangs and
So
then I
bad.
cut. I will tell you, it took me a while to do it. Only because I hardly knew what I was doing.
But I think like Disney is that perfect example of like they were able to
Yeah, it's a good example.
quantify, they were able to make not even money, but also like basically spread their brand to a bunch of different avenues.
Yeah.
And it was sort of irrelevant as long as the core product maintained
Remained.
integrity.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to think about like the band is like
Yeah.
we should if the album is dope, the recordings are great, and when we purposefully make a music video, it's great, then you can have all this other output that's shitty, but people are still going to like respect you because they know that the main product is good,
Yeah. I
So,
don't disagree
Feel
at
good
all.
about it, yeah.
Yeah. The more I really spent a long time pushing back on social media, but the more I've just had to do it through all these different avenues, the more kind of fascinating it gets.
Yeah.
And the more I find myself wanting to be kind of creative with it.
Well, you've gotten way better at it too. I think this is everything in life. It's like
Yeah.
when it's foreign and unfamiliar, it feels hard
Of course.
and
yeah.
you don't like it. And then as soon as you do it a bunch more, then it's like, oh, well, never mind, It's not just you, that's
Like-
everybody.
No, I was going to say like playing these cover songs.
Exactly. I think tonight, we're going to go play the covers right now, and we're about to be like, oh, they sound great. They're so easy. This is so much fun.
I feel like this week has been the most roller coaster emotions about this show because we're playing this big cover set on 4th of July at a backyard party. It'll be really fun, assuming the weather holds out. But I mean, it's 2 hours of
Yeah.
playing, and we've had to learn. I think we have 23 songs, and some days it's been really hard because it's like, well, we don't know all these songs perfectly,
Yeah.
and we have to spend a lot of time figuring them out. You're working on all the backing tracks for them. Like, it's been a huge fucking project
Yeah.
in the 2 weeks leading up to our first tour for 2 weeks, happening for the first time in 7 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, but then I'm on the sort of the flip side. It's got us playing guitar every
Every day.
single
Every
day
day.
that I don't think we would be doing if we didn't have this we had to do on Saturday.
Yeah.
And
I keep telling myself, I'm like, you know what? Well, now we have it.
oh, totally.
So now we're gonna have
We're doing
this,
the
like,
leg work for yes.
you know, a lot of bands can't just be like, oh yeah, we can just do a 2-hour cover set
Right. Right.
on top of wait, what? Because what's the first thing people always ask when you're in a band? They're like, oh, do you play your own music?
Yeah.
Which is such
yeah.
a funny thing to ask a band, but only because I've only ever been in original bands.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people play music and they play covers.
or a lot of people that go see bands that do covers.
Right. You know, so then I'm like, we do it all.
Do it all.
Why
Yeah.
don't why fucking not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny last night. You know, I spent some time putting together little cheat sheets that have, you know, chords and lyrics so that
Which
we can
every cover band you ever
put them in a
see-
binder. Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
it's too much to
Most
have in your
cover
head.
most cover
You know what
bands
it is?
iPad.
You know what it is? It's the waiter situation. It's like, why
Oh, just write it down.
try to remember when you can just write it down?
Just write it the fuck down.
Write it down. That's like, why try to remember all the lyrics to these 23 songs
say-
that I learned 2 weeks ago? Or why not have a binder where I know most of them, but if I need to peek over for a second, I can peek over and then I can sing it correctly.
You know what? Something that has never impressed me, and I could not give two shits about, is when a waiter tries to remember an order
Yeah.
and not write it down. Especially if it's a party of, if it's more than 2 people.
Yeah,
I'm like, just write it the fuck down. It actually annoys me
when they don't.
when you're not writing it down.
Yeah.
And then it extremely annoys me when they come back and they're like,
What'd you
so
say?"
you had the salmon, right? It was salmon in the fillet? Okay, yeah. And then I'm like, why didn't you just fucking write it down? I would respect you so
You just
much more.
wasted time for getting my order into the kitchen.
Yeah.
Now you're wasting my
And
time at the
I
restaurant.
put drinks in at the same time, and I would have preferred for the drinks to already be coming, but now I'm waiting for you to go back to the kiosk to put it back in
Yeah.
your computer system when you could have just written it the fuck down.
and then they fuck it up.
Then they still fuck it up. No, I'm like, nothing. I think it's so cool to be at like an old timey steakhouse, and the waitress is fucking 65, and she comes over and she has her notepad, and she's just like, "What do you want?"
What do you want?
Writes it all down. She doesn't question anything. She doesn't ask anything.
Yeah.
Then your food just comes out and it's perfect.
Yep.
And you're like, "Oh, that was great. What a great experience."
What a normal thing.
yeah.
But my whole point to bringing up the cover stuff was, you know, yesterday we finally had everything kind of exactly in place, and we ran through almost half the
yeah.
songs, and it felt great
It was great. It's so easy.
because it wasn't foreign feeling. We'd given ourselves the crutch that we needed.
Yep.
We'd given ourselves the time. I don't know. It just felt good, and hopefully tonight feels good as well. And tomorrow night and Saturday morning,
Yeah.
and then we'll play the show, and then we'll just have to focus on tour.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll probably do one more pod. I would love to get to practicing.
You gonna get to practicing?
Let's get to practicing.
right.
Speaking of practicing,
Yeah. We'll probably be here one more time.
one more time before we
We'll
leave.
do it from the road.
I know. We could probably do 2 from the road. It's sort of
Oh yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So
Oh my goodness.
we'll check in from the road.
But we'll be here next time.
We'll be here next time. But then we'll check in
Maybe.
from the road.
I don't know.
I
We'll
don't
see.
know. Who knows? I don't know.
Might be crazy.
Stay tuned to see where the fuck we are.
Yeah.